Hey guys, I'm Dante and welcome back to The Artist Eye, where we try to view the world just a little differently. Today we're going to finish up the last part of episode 8, which was utility belts. Last week we created a gas gun, meant to be used by a superhero that has a bit more money in his pocket and can afford more sophisticated gadgets. So today we are going to go ahead and make a utility belt with all of its accessories for the everyday superhero, the guy who doesn't have that much money, the guy whose secret identity is just him in his basement. So with that being said, let's jump right into it with some supplies from the ever so magical and mystical Box O Junk. Let's see what we have today to work with. Alright guys, let's see. We got some miscellaneous PVC piping and of course all the attachments that go with it. That comes in handy. What else? Oh, thank you. Okay, so as Trix said, we also have leftover rope from the project from last video. It's always good to have some of this laying around. Thank you, Trix. There we go. How about this? There's a cheap fake alarm clock. You can pick these up in like really cheap corner stores. Maybe when you're in Chinatown, they have a bunch of them with little cat symbols on them. You give it a good spray paint. For those of you who like steampunk, keep this in mind. Solid piece, looks just like a clock. You can put almost any face you want right on it. And as always, all the stuff I usually like. Water gun containers. Let's see, what else? Easter eggs. Plastic containers from 25-cent machines. And so on and so forth. So, we're going to take all these everyday objects, we're going to try to view them a little differently and make our new utility belt. I'll show you the stuff I'm using as we go along, because to be honest, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I won't know what I'm going to make until I see what I have in hand. So let's jump to the drawing table, shall we? Okay guys, so just a reminder about last week. Last week we found an old syrup container, a plastic toy faucet from a cheap thrift store. And I gave the faucet a brown and gold quick spray paint. I'm going to add more detail later. This is going to end up perhaps as a corrosive acid that the hero will wear on his belt. But today I'm going to show you some of the new stuff. So I mentioned the PVC piping. I figured we could take a bunch of these pipes. And I tried different shapes and different styles. And I'm going to make a cheap grappling hook. I added a loop at the base. The rope that Trix has provided will be attached to that. And I also went and filed off all of the markings indicating that it was PVC piping. So when I spray painted a matching copper tone similar to the faucet piece, it will look like copper or bronze plumber piping. And this makes for a nice blunt tool, or in this case, a poor man's grappling hook. Gonna put that to the side for now. Looking at the alarm clock also made me think maybe we can make a TNT bomb. So you can take some cardstock. If you have cardboard tubing in the house, works just as fine. I'm gonna wrap mine in this orange craft paper. It's old, it's worn, and it's perfect. Wrap it up and then give it a spray paint of red so it looks like it's worn out old TNT, once again using the rope. And I might have a few strips of TNT or even attach it to the clock to make a kind of TNT bomb. You can even make smaller tubes, or in my case I have these miscellaneous tubes, and make pretty much quarter sticks of dynamite to line our hero's belt. Kind of like a bullet belt with a bunch of little bits of TNT. This guy's going to be a bit of a crazy nut job. So I'm going to jump right into it and let's see how we go. Super fast time, guys. Let's get cooking. So I was thinking our guy needs some kind of medical equipment, something grungy but effective. So I'm gonna decide to make a syringe. Now you could go to a store and just buy you go to any pharmacy and buy like a plastic syringe like this. There's no needle, of course. These are used for like, measuring out medicine. But I decided let's make one from scratch, and one we can actually fill up multiple times with different kind of liquids in case you want to change the color of your weird syringe adrenaline shot liquid. So they're gonna put this to the side. Let's see what we got here. We have different kind of containers. This is a miscellaneous container from a plumber's epoxy. Once again, containers from art and craft stores. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna essentially make it look like a syringe with the needle in the front, and I can always unscrew it and put different color liquids inside. So I'm gonna go with this guy. And here are a bunch of other miscellaneous parts. Plastic tubing, pen, which I think would be the best thing to use for the main injection needle that goes in. Miscellaneous pieces of plastic, of course, sheets of plastic. I got styrene here, as I always do. Once again, you can always use most plastic containers, like a milk carton plastic container. And I have our leftover PVC. I'm gonna chop up the PVC ends and give me 4, maybe 3 rings that I'll use as the grip points of the syringe. I'm going for an old-timey, really old-timey syringe glass case, like heavy glass, heavy metal. So let me cut this up and we'll jump into it and we'll see how everything unfolds. So with that out the way, we can now finally... Okay, to be honest, it took a bit longer to make those props than I expected. But anyway, let's continue. We're going to pick up a few last things to finish off our utility belt. I'm going to be taking John 2 outside with me, and he's eager to get some new footage. Hold on! I finally got that fixed. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? Now for this, we do have to travel outside. Some supplies you just need to go to the source to get. This should work. Okay, I think we're good. And behold, a true superhero. Kind of. Here we are, guys, with the completed Poor Man's Utility Belt. I love this project, it's so silly. We have ourselves our plumber's pipe grappling hook and rope, of course, which doubles as a nice blunt weapon you can use to bash in those criminals' heads. We have our TNT taped nice to our chest for some kamikaze attacks, so you just rip it right off, light it, and then chuck it. Just, you know, hope not to hit no one. For those hard to pick locks, we have our jar of battery acid. Open it up, spill it, get into those hard to reach places. And for all those superheroes who feel med packs and band-aids are for wusses, a nice, nasty, dirty old syringe of God knows what. Liquid cocaine, adrenaline shot, whatever you want to call it. I like the way it looks. All held together with a borrowed safety belt. I took this from a car. I will put it back. I just thought it worked very well. You know, what's stronger than a safety belt? Even though it was kind of easy for me to cut this off anyway. But you get the idea. And that's that, guys. All of this made with homemade homemade objects that were, of course, viewed just a little differently to see what they could become. And I had fun with this project. It was silly. It was weird. And I hope you enjoyed it too. So if you like this project, favorite, subscribe, share the links, and of course, comment down below, or whatever YouTube tends to put it nowadays. Give me ideas for future projects. Let me know what you want to see me try to make out of homemade stuff. Heck, give me a challenge. If you want to really, you know, twist my mind a bit, give me a few objects to use off the top of your head. Suggest a few objects and I'll see what I can make out of said objects. That's the whole point of the Artist Eye after all. And once again, guys, I am Dante. Thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you in the future. Later.